In the blistering summer of 2025, the Mojave Desert shimmered like a mirage, its cracked earth swallowing heat and secrets alike. Out past Barstow, where the Joshua trees twisted like forgotten prayers, stood the skeletal frame of Station 7, an abandoned Cold War listening post now repurposed by a scrappy team of Caltech dropouts and ex-NASA engineers. They called themselves the Echo Collective, and their mission was simple: find proof of life beyond Earth before the government shut them down for good. The leader was Zara Khan, a 28-year-old radio astronomer from Karachi who'd traded monsoon skies for star-drenched nights. She'd arrived in California on a student visa 5 years earlier, her accent still carrying the lilt of Urdu when she got excited. Zara's obsession wasn't fame or funding, it was her father, a ham radio operator back in Pakistan who died the year before, whispering into the void every night, hoping someone, anyone, would answer. "The universe is lonely," he'd told her. "But it's listening." Station 7 was a rusting relic, parabolic dishes the size of houses, caked in dust and bird shit, wired together with duct tape and prayers. The team lived in shipping containers retrofitted with solar panels and a single AC unit that wheezed like a dying accordion. There was Diego, the hardware wizard from East LA who could fix anything with a soldering iron and a curse word, Priya, the Indian-American coder who spoke fluent Python and sarcasm, and Jonah, the quiet ex-Marine who handled security and cooked the best chili west of the Mississippi. They scraped by on crowdfunding and Zara's sleepless nights writing grant proposals that always came back stamped, insufficient strategic value. The breakthrough came on July 4, 2025, fittingly, during a fireworks show in Vegas that lit the horizon like a false dawn. Zara was alone in the control room, headphones clamped over her hijab, eyes bloodshot from 18 hours of signal filtering. The SETI software pinged. Not the usual cosmic burp of a pulsar or the static of a distant quasar. This was structured. A sequence of prime numbers, repeating every 37 seconds, layered beneath a carrier wave at 1420 MHz, the hydrogen line, the universal, hello, frequency. Holy shit, she whispered, the words slipping out in English and Urdu at once. She triple-checked the data, ruled out satellites, aircraft, even the prankster hackers who'd once spoofed them with Rick Astley. This was real. Or real enough to risk everything. By morning, the team was in chaos. Diego wanted to blast it on X immediately, let the world decide. Priya argued for peer review, her voice rising in octave with every counterpoint. Jonah just cleaned his rifle and said nothing. Zara made the call, 48 hours of verification, then they'd go public. But the desert has ears, and Station 7 had neighbors, black SUVs with government plates that had been circling for weeks, ever since the team's Kickstarter hit 6 figures. That night, the power cut out. Not a flicker, a hard, deliberate kill. The dishes went dark, the servers spun down, and the desert wind howled through the open door like laughter. Men in unmarked tactical gear poured in, flashlights carving the darkness. "Federal seizure," one barked, waving a warrant that glowed under UV light. "National security." Zara's laptop was snatched mid-upload, the signal file encrypted but not erased. She memorized the header, a 128-bit key tied to her father's old call sign. They were detained for 36 hours in a windowless facility outside Edwards Air Force Base, questioned separately. "You're chasing ghosts," the agent told Zara, sliding a photo across the table, her father's Radio Shack, circa 1998. "This ends now." But Zara saw the fear in his eyes. They knew what she'd found. And they wanted it buried. Released with NDAs thicker than the Mojave heat, the team returned to a gutted station. Dishes slashed, hard drives drilled, the control room smeared with a single word in red paint: cease. But Priya had backed up the signal to a microSD hidden in her bra. Diego had a spare dish in a storage unit. Jonah had other skills. And Zara? She had a plan. They went dark. No social media, no emails. Just a burner phone and a map. Over the next month, they rebuilt in fragments, Diego soldering in a Fresno garage, Priya coding in a San Diego library, Jonah driving supply runs in a beat-up Tacoma. Zara holed up in a Mojave motel, decoding the signal by hand. It wasn't just primes. Embedded in the noise was a star map, coordinates pointing to a system 47 light-years away, and a message in binary that translated, roughly, to, "We are here. You are not alone. Do not come." The last part chilled her. A warning? A threat? Or a plea? On November 15, 2025, they went live, not with press or fanfare, but a raw, untraceable stream from a satellite uplink Jonah borrowed from a decommissioned weather balloon. Zara's face filled screens worldwide, exhausted, defiant, hijab slightly askew. "This is Station 7, she said, voice steady. "We found them. And they found us first." The signal played, raw and unfiltered, looping for exactly 37 seconds before the feed cut to static. The internet exploded. #Station 7 trended for 14 hours straight, scientists debunking, believers praying, governments denying. Leaked DoD memos surfaced on X, redacted but damning. Protests erupted outside NASA HQ. A Pakistani general called it a hoax by Indian agents. A Vatican astronomer called it the Second Annunciation. But the SUVs never came back. Not yet.by dawn on November 16, Station 7 was gone, tents folded, dishes dismantled, the desert reclaiming its silence. The team scattered, Diego to Mexico, Priya to Canada, Jonah to places he wouldn't name. Zara? She was last seen boarding a Greyhound in Barstow, a duffel bag slung over her shoulder, headphones on, staring at the horizon. In her pocket, the microSD, warm against her skin. And a new file, received at 3:17 a.m., a second signal, fainter, from the same coordinates. Just one line, repeating, "Thank you. Stay."